This is the story of Baby Girl. Once upon a time, there was a pretty little girl living with her mother and father. Her name was Baby Girl. She loved them very much, and they loved her too, because she always made them very happy. They were living in a small village called Pleasantville, where they were considered very rich. Baby Girl loved playing in the forest surrounding the mansion. There, she was often found surrounded by many little butterflies, following her as if they were always protecting her. Baby Girl and her parents also loved going on trips to the green forest and the mighty castles. Every time they returned home, they always brought back a lot of souvenirs and gifts. Then one day, a sorcerer came out of nowhere and cast a spell on the family. Then suddenly, the family lost a fortune, and Baby Girl's parents were very worried that they were going to lose their big house and their friendly neighbors. One night, Baby Girl went to sleep and had a dream. She saw a beautiful fairy angel who told her a secret that would break the sorcerer's spell. She told her that if she wanted to break the sorcerer's spell, she would have to go on a journey into the green forest. She would have to find 3 different butterflies of red, blue, and pink colors. Only then she will be able to find a treasure of eternal gold that would save her family's fortune. Without hesitation, Baby Girl immediately woke up and started to pack a little picnic for the road. She had been to the green forest many times with her parents before. However, she had never been there alone. Therefore, she was a little nervous and scared. But she did not want to waste any time. She had to go on this journey to save her family and their fortune. As soon as Baby Girl entered the green forest, she walked towards a dense area of vegetation that was along the road. There, she suddenly met a funny little creature that looked like a monkey. Upon seeing her approaching, he started dancing and making funny gestures as if he was trying to make her laugh. The monkey was obviously not shy. It was an entertainment monkey, and he loved having some attention. Therefore, he immediately started to dance around to grab her attention. For a few minutes, Baby Girl was distracted, and she couldn't stop herself from laughing at the cute little monkey. At that very moment, a butterfly appeared on a tree branch behind the monkey. It was red, and it said loudly, "My name is Red Butterfly. The fairy angel sent me to guide you onto the next step of your journey." Baby Girl looked very startled by surprise. However, she stayed very focused upon the words that were coming out of Red Butterfly's mouth. The success of the adventure depended on it. Red Butterfly continued by pointing to a curve on the road and said to Baby Girl, "This is the path you must follow to the treasure. However, I am giving you these herbs. Guard them safely. You will need them very soon." Baby Girl was about to ask Red Butterfly what she was going to need the herbs for. However, Red Butterfly disappeared into the forest immediately after saying these words. Baby Girl was very worried about wasting time. She thought the monkey was very funny. However, she had to move on to the next step of the journey. Therefore, she grabbed her picnic bag and hid the herbs before getting on the road that Red Butterfly had indicated. Soon enough, Baby Girl arrived in the middle of a great valley. There was a river of milk and honey flowing calmly nearby, and the flowers looked marvelous, with little beads of water that looked like crystals when the sunlight crossed upon them. In the middle of this beautiful scenery, there was a beautiful deer. It was singing a beautiful melody with a very enchanting voice. Baby Girl had been walking for a while now. Therefore, she decided to take a few minutes to rest under a beautiful and tall tree nearby. The tree provided shade in a comfortable area. Just as she was about to lay down, a new blue butterfly suddenly appeared from behind the tree. It said loudly, "My name is Blue Butterfly, and I was sent to you by the fairy angel to guide you on to the next step in your journey." Baby Girl was so surprised by this sudden apparition that she immediately felt invigorated and forgot about laying down. She was now listening intensely at what the butterfly had to say. So it continued by pointing at another turn on the road and said, "This is the road that you must follow. It will lead you to the secret treasure. However, here is this bowl of butter. Hide it carefully, because you will need it very soon." Then, just like it had appeared, the butterfly had suddenly vanished into the forest. And once again, baby girl wanted to ask the blue butterfly what she was going to need the butter for. However, she didn't have time to do that. So she got up anyway and immediately started walking towards the path that blue butterfly had pointed at. Soon enough, baby girl arrived at an area of blue pasture with tall green palm trees. She thought this was strange because she had never seen blue grass before. Yet as she approached it very closely, she noticed that the road was also coming to an end. Instead, there was a cave with a large entrance. It looked very dark, so baby girl didn't want to go in. Instead, she chose to take some rest in the blue pastures. She had been walking for a long time, and she was starting to be exhausted. As she was about to open her picnic bag, a pink butterfly suddenly appeared from behind a tree. It said loudly, "My name is Pink Butterfly. I was sent to you by the fairy angel to guide you onto the next step in your journey." It was flapping its wings, which were spreading gold sparkles all over the place. Baby girl was captivated by the glowing light emanating from its body as it continued to say, "Here, take this baton and this magic wand. They are for your wealth, health, and happiness. Be very careful with them, because you will need them very soon." Then, pointing at the entrance of the cave, Pink Butterfly said to baby girl, "Here is the next step on your journey. You must enter this cave where you will find a secret treasure." Then suddenly, it became evident that baby girl could no longer waste any time. She had decided to continue on her journey immediately. She looked at the entrance of the cave and she felt very scared. It looked very dark. She was worried that she didn't have enough tools to go onto the next step. She wanted to cry, but Pink Butterfly suddenly reappeared before any tears could come out of her eyes and said, "Follow me. I will show you the light." At this point, baby girl felt like she was no longer alone. She felt like she was finally on the right path to success and decided to follow it through. It had now reached a very narrow part of the cave that had a big hole with red roses around it. Baby girl was about to force her way inside of it when Pink Butterfly quickly stopped her and said, "No, don't go inside like that. It is very itchy and full of bugs along the way. Instead, give me your herbs, butter, and the baton. I will create an antidote that will scare them away." Baby girl immediately gave him the herbs, the butter, and the baton. The herbs came in several large and small measures and textures. Pink Butterfly used a large herb leaf as a bag and created a mixture of the butter and smaller herbs inside of it. Then he tied it all up into a ball attached upon the baton. Then, holding it firmly in front of him, Pink Butterfly said to baby girl, "Use your magic wand to create a fire. Say the magic word abracadabra and it will ignite the antidote on the baton." Then, with a large twist of the magic wand in her hand, baby girl said abracadabra and threw a burst of gold sparkles onto the herbs and butter mixture, and it burned into a fire with a sweet smell of a smoke. Pink Butterfly then gave the baton back to baby girl while saying, "Here, take this baton. Hold it firmly in your hands with the smoke as you walk further into the cave. It will keep you safe from the bugs." Upon entering the narrow hole of the cave, with the baton of herbs and butter in her hands, baby girl waved the stick above and around the bugs, who immediately came out of her way and died. The smoke just killed them. At this point, baby girl felt a sign of relief in her heart and in her arms that had suddenly stopped shaking. The more she walked, the lighter the cave was becoming. Then suddenly, there it was, The secret treasure was right in front of baby girl. She had found it, and there was so much of it that she didn't know what to do with all of that. The level of abundance was endless. That amount of richness was beyond her level of imagination, and she was so happy about her newfound treasure. She was so happy that she wanted to shout and jump and dance. Then she suddenly realized a great dilemma was in front of her. The greatest treasure of all was high above on a pedestal. Baby girl couldn't reach it. It was too high. Pink Butterfly said, "Don't worry, I can get it. Just turn around and don't look for a minute." Baby girl didn't look when she heard a very loud noise behind her. Pink Butterfly had pushed the treasure off the pedestal and right onto the grounds in front of her. It was a lot of money. Then Pink Butterfly said to her, "Baby girl, don't waste any time. Grab this gold chariot over there and take all of the gold that you can pull with you. Bring it home and save your family." Without hesitation, baby girl grabbed it all and thanked Pink Butterfly for his help. She wanted to give him some of the money, but Pink Butterfly said that she had already helped him by chasing away the bugs in the cave. They came out every night to eat the butterflies, and now that they were dead, Pink Butterfly was the happiest in the world. That was his way of thanking her for taking on this dangerous journey. Baby girl went back home with her treasure. She came right on time. She saved the house. She saved the family and their fortunes. When she got home, she ran into her mother's arms, who held her tightly. Her mother, Rene, said, "Don't you ever run away from me again. Otherwise, the ogre will eat you." Baby girl thought it was such a funny statement. They all laughed together as they were all so happy to be together again. From then on, they were now living together as a family, happily ever after.